Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alvin. I'm a part-time reseller here in Singapore. Today will be a quick one. I've just started packing all my stuff for eBay. So a few things, some big, some really big, some very bulky, some not so bulky, and I had to pack them. You can see the few things that I sold, the prices and everything. Mostly, I mean, half of it is part of my collection. Half of it is bought from to resell, to make a profit. And here today, I'm just going to talk to you about something that I realized while I was selling. Reselling made me a better collector. Why do I say that? It's because in recent times, there are things that you buy on impulse, which I've done many times while watching movies, watching series, watching anime, anything, pop culture for instance, because pop culture does drive what you buy and what you collect. The reasoning is that as time goes by, there are things that can sell, can't really sell, you have to sell at a loss, and as collectors you kind of want to preserve whatever value or investment that you actually put into your collection. And I'll be honest with you, there are things that in say a Singapore context, it does not work well when you collect everything. And for this video, I'm just gonna maybe share a few things on what I think collecting is, going forward in the year 2023. Now we are in April, and the fact that it's like the time of buying everything, thinking that your investment or your collection will be worthwhile down the road may be a bit differently from what you think it is. Because face it, that's your collection. You think it's worthwhile to collect. That's your money, your time spent on it. You do you. But for me, for this video, whoever clicked on it, I'll be honest, as I've been reselling on eBay, it's a doozy. The fact that you do not have space in Singapore context again, as the houses get smaller, our HDB flats are not really big, as time goes by. Face it, we have limited space. So as a collector, what I can tell you as I resell is you should maybe think about these few things before you even start buying into certain products. So here are the maybe 5 things that I realized as I'm starting, to slowly curate my collection while selling on eBay. First thing is, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. As in Singapore, if you want to sell this is my near automata statue. Quite a big penny, it's like a few grand. If you're thinking of selling in the Singapore context, you may not find enough buyers to buy this at the price that you wish to sell. Having said that, some things do have a shelf life. Like for instance, Near Automata is still relatively, a fan favorite across the whole world. If you're thinking of selling overseas, this is going to cost you in shipping. So the only other option is maybe to sell locally. But local context, then maybe not enough buyers as people don't have the means to buy this. It's a chicken and egg thing. You may want to know what you're buying into, enjoying it. You can keep it, maybe like 5 years, and then you think of selling it. I know it's difficult, but you might want to think about it while you're collecting, so that at least you have the worth of it put into place, so that the time comes to sell, you at least know that the market rate is what it is down the road. I'll be honest with you, for this, it may stay with me for quite a bit. But again, if you want to sell this in Singapore, be prepared to sell this at a loss, is what I'm saying. Why? Because I've sold quite a few statues at a loss before. Which brings me to my second point is, the smaller ones do tend to hold value if you know what you're collecting. Some don't fall as hard as the bigger statues, I'll be honest. In Singapore, the fact is all these can still sell at whatever you bought at, provided you also kept the box. Packaging and the box, the parcel, the carton box, everything. you do need to keep them. It's relatively smaller to keep, whereas as the bigger statues, it's a bit tough to keep because in Singapore you do have limited space. But again, my second point is you do need to keep the boxes, the carton boxes, so that at least while you want to sell them later on, you will have the means to move them because people do value the packaging boxes still. I'm going to sit down for this one. I'm going to tell you that for the third thing that you should probably do is delayed gratification. Meaning you probably have seen something that you really like. It's not out yet. Pre-ordering is pretty normal in the collecting world. Be it statues, figurines, cards, anything. Delayed gratification can help you save money. What do I mean by that? Previously, when I see anything, I would just pre-order on a whim. And as time goes by, I have way too much stuff. And then when there's time to sell, it takes a while to sell because, there's things that you can't really sell because you think that the price is too low for it. So what I do now is, as I'm reselling on eBay, I realize that prices have been dropping. So bear that in mind that nowadays there's so many manufacturers out there that is you will have to really pick and choose what you want to buy into. There's so many brands. So what I believe is, if you look at something that you think you want to buy, hold off. Just don't buy. Wait for it, maybe in a week's time. Because pre-order period, there's always a stretch of like in a month's time. In a week, you look at it again, or you never think of it again, then you are good to go. But if you're 1 week later, you still are interested in it, wait for another week. Wait until you've truly forgotten it. Because the fact is, FOMO, fear of missing out, can hurt you in the long run. I know, I've done it before. So what I now do is, I just look at it, stare at it, think about it, think until I kind of forgot about it because there's always something else to buy. So delayed gratification can help you in the long run. So try that. Don't stop. Don't pre-order. Just don't look at it for a while. And then if you really are interested in it and you really want it, then go ahead. But I tell you one thing that, again, there's so many manufacturers out there. So more than likely, you will get to buy a certain item again down the road. It may not be the same item, but again, if the thing is there for you, the time to come, you will buy. Okay, the next fourth thing that you maybe should try to, but I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of collectors, is when your time to sell, because you don't have any interest in it, or it's taking up too much space, whatever. The fact that you want to sell and then you can't part with it because you put up so much money into it. Market forces will dictate prices. As someone who is reselling on eBay, I know I've sold many things at a loss before. You do need to factor the fact that you have enjoyed the item for that, how many months, how many years down the road. And then if it's the time to sell, for whatever reason, you need the space back, you need the money back, just take it that you already enjoyed it. So whatever price you sell it, or even lesser than that, it is what it is. It's time to move on, get the money back, and then, spend it on something else. So that's one thing that I just want to urge you is, the fact that if you can't sell it at that price, that is a reason why you can't sell it at that price. The last thing I want to say is, it is your money. It is how you spend it. This is not financial advice. This is how I'm doing when I'm collecting and buying my items, for my collection, is probably need to do your homework. Back in the day, there wasn't so many manufacturers, but nowadays there's so many manufacturers trying to vie for your dollar. Do your homework, check the competition, see what else is there to help you save your money, whether is it worthwhile to collect, And as for me, I'm picking and choosing, the certain products that I want to collect right now. And because, again, there's a lot of things that you probably really want. But again, the few pointers that I made plus this, is to be safe with your money. This year, uh, it's gonna be a rough one. Stay safe. I believe that all of us who collect will still collect down the road. But whoever is watching this video, I do think that be smart with your money. Buy things that you probably should do more homework on it and enjoy collecting. I guess the enjoyment is there. If you're not enjoying it and then it feels like a hassle, then don't. No, it has happened to me before. So anyway, this will be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.